Hello guys, and welcome to my Tiger video. I've just unlocked it, and my first tier 7 tank I've unlocked. It's unupgraded. I've only played a couple matches, so I'm going to take it out for a couple games, but I'm not expecting much of a result. But I just wanted to show you what it's like and things, because it's a popular tank. It's one of the most great Sacred Valley. Not exactly my favourite map, that's for sure. But we'll see. Hopefully get a couple decent matches. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the Tiger tank, because it is one of the most iconic tanks of World War II. Now, that's a reason why it's popular. Oh, great, tier 9 match. Let's just block him because we don't want him to be making lots of noise while we're playing. Yeah, so a Tiger tank. I think if anybody knows anything, a little bit about World War II, and they were asked to name a tank from World War II, they'll probably say the Sherman or the Tiger tank. Now, of the German Tiger tank was kind of developed during the Russian campaign. They had taken all of Europe. Their blitzkrieg tactics had pushed the Russians back as well, but the Russians were definitely more resilient than the Germans were expecting. So they developed the Tiger tank, because the Germans at that point had their tactics using large groups of tanks had taken the French and most of Europe by surprise, and the rest of Europe were using World War I type tactics. We're using their tanks in small groups to support troops. Oh, he's reversing. Anyway, so once they come across the Russians, who had developed their own nice little tanks that could, well, basically do the German ones in, the Germans developed the Tiger tank. Now, most tanks were being developed where I'm not seeing much action, but I don't really want to risk it because I'm the lowest tier. Most people had started understanding that sloped armor was pretty damn good. Now, sloped armor deflects shells, but the Germans thought, nah, screw it, we'll just put loads and loads of armour on it. And it worked. Almost impenetrable at long range. And it had its own very impressive gun that could do a heck of a lot of damage and take out pretty much all tanks that it came across. Now, Hitler was very impressed by this, and he wanted to. He was not impressed by the fact that they had to. They lost to the Russians, and they didn't get to Moscow. So he decided another attack a massive attack on the Russians, and unfortunately, taken off over half my health on one shot. Awesome. So he wanted a lot of these Tigers for his next attack. Now, his generals were against this. They wanted to regroup and then attack the Russians, or at least defend, because they knew their superior numbers. But Hitler was against this and was definitely going to attack. The English informed the Russians of this attack, and Hitler kept putting it off so they could get more Tigers made for this battle, giving time for the Russians to build up their defences. Obviously this was a massive offensive, but of course the Russians had superior numbers of troops, tanks and aircraft, Now, when the attack started, they made slow progress, but they did advance. And then, of course, the Battle of Kursk happened, which is the biggest tank battle in history. Oh, come on, one more. Yes, one destroyed by me. Nice. Yeah, anyway, so, this big battle was about to commence, and the Germans had a lot of their lovely Tigers, and now it was a very hot week before the battle, and as all these massive tanks were just about to headlong into each other. Ooh, payback. So that was the end of that match. Not a great match. Anyway, this next match did quite a lot better. Unfortunately, I was the lowest rank again. I believe in this one. So yeah, all these tanks kicked up so much dust that they could not tell where the enemy was, so they had to get in close. Now, getting in close negated most of the Tigers' advantages. At that kind of close range, even the Russian tanks could do damage to it. The Germans had got air superiority, but that was completely useless because there's so much dust they couldn't see which tanks were which. And obviously they were up close and personal, and they couldn't tell which. They couldn't risk attacking a Russian tank because it might hit a German one. So basically the Germans lost that battle, pretty much all due to the fact that Hitler wanted the Tiger tank to be more Tigers to be in the battle. And then, of course, there was two major flaws to do the Tiger. Its lack of mass production. They couldn't really mass produce it as quickly as they could have or should have to make it effective. And then there's the mechanical problems. It was quite frequently broke down. But like about half the Tigers that were destroyed during World War II were destroyed by their own crews, as they had to abandon them due to mechanical problems and not let them destroy them before the enemy could capture them. And obviously, during the later years, air superiority was in the English and American and Allied hands, and aircraft had started getting much superior weapons on them that could take out ground forces such as tanks. Obviously they would later develop the Tiger II and things like that, but I'll probably talk about those later on if I can be bothered. Now another tank which made its debut in the Kursk battle was the Ferdinand, which you can also get in World of Tanks as a German tank destroyer. Now, it was a very impressive tank destroyer. If you're a tank and got in the way in front of this tank, you wouldn't last very long. But again, it had two major flaws with it. Its suspension wasn't very good, so it quite often got bogged down, had to be left behind to catch up later, and unfortunately it did not have any mounted machine guns on it, which meant the enemy soldiers could just walk over to it, plant explosives underneath, and then blow it up. So unfortunately, about 85 were made for the Battle of Kursk, and just over half of them were destroyed in that one campaign due to its flaws. But obviously in this game you don't have to worry about troops just walking over and planting explosives, because it's just pure tanks. So it's a worthy tank in this game. Nice first kill. I think I got about 3 kills in this one. I really can't remember. I recorded this a couple days ago, when I was very excited about the fact that I got my first tiger. Now, yeah, another thing, like I said, it's one of the most famous tanks. Hollywood obviously have kind of made it infamous. You know, if there's any World War II series or films and it has a enemy like tank in it, that causes a problem for the main characters, it is usually the Tiger tank. Now, you might see in the films like a Tiger tank taking out 5 or 6 Sherman tanks. Now, normally you would think, oh, this is just Hollywood's kind of like blowing it out, blowing it over the top, making it over the top to make it more exciting. But this was actually true. The Tiger tank could take out several tanks all on its own. Now I'm going to Tank Fest in Bovington, in Dorset, soon, and they have a very famous. Another one. And they have a very famous Tiger there, Tiger tank, which took out quite a few English tanks all in a row. But luckily, English tank managed to, I think it was Churchill's fighting it. I don't know which version of the Churchill, I'm guessing a later one, since it was fighting a Tiger. But it managed to get a lucky hit and hit the shell, hit right that, scraped the bottom of the barrel of the Tiger's gun and lodged itself underneath, making it difficult to move the gun. And the Germans panicked in it and just legged it out of it, and it was captured. So an interesting story. If the Germans stayed in that tank, they might have done better. That's an Allied troop. Ooh, third kill. I bet he's a bit annoyed by getting killed by me. Now, obviously, I did minimum damage to it, really, but hey, I take what I can when it's I'm a lower tier. And now I'm looking forward to upgrading this, a little bit more speed and a little bit more power in the guns, in the gun on this thing, and this will be a devastating tank. And obviously I'm going to put equipment on this, spend a lot of money on equipment. Now I actually went ahead and bought binoculars for it, or something, I can't remember what it's called. The binoculars is the one where you can see a lot farther if you're stationary. I bought the one where you can see a little bit further even if you're moving. And then I regretted it, because I thought I'm going to unlock all these packages and I don't know exactly kind of what equipment it will need. So I've left the rest until I've fully upgraded the tank, and then I'll see which kind of equipment I will be best. Oh, I hit a dead tank. That was damn. Well, that was decent enough. So I hope I didn't bore you too much with some of the history lesson there, but you did get to see the tank perform quite well against higher tiers, and upgraded as well. So yeah, I hope you join me for my next video. Probably be a live stream. Yeah. So see you soon, guys. Bye.